This is Stock Talk on July 5th. It's 8:43 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for joining me in a late night edition of Stock Talk. You guys can check out my new Facebook page as well in the link in the description box below. Let's get started right away looking at SPY, the S&P 500 on the 180-day chart. And I want to pull that on the Thinkorswim platform. And we're going to take a look at the near term and take a look at what's been happening. We've been fluctuating between a what? Right here, a resistance at 273.30 and a support at 269.40. We've been fluctuating because of several news items and because the market is a little uncertain. And I told you guys, that is why I don't have a position in the markets right now. So today we had the meeting minutes that came out, kind of fluctuated the market just a little bit. Tomorrow we have the tariffs coming out. We have the unemployment rate numbers coming out. We have a lot of things happening tomorrow. And therefore, look where we are right now. We're smack dab right at the resistance. So if you guys entered a position earlier in the day today, not bad, right? You get to write it out. But look, we're at the resistance now. Chances are, right, we might get rejected and come on down. So what is our trading strategy? What is my trading strategy for the markets right now? Remember, I'm looking for a close, a daily close at 274 or higher, showing strength in the markets. That would be a more bullish sign, and I would go along with the markets. But right now, since right here, I'm not going to take a position. You guys can do, what you think is right, but it's just too risky right now given what's coming up tomorrow. So pay attention to the futures tonight. Pay attention to what happens to the markets tomorrow morning when the unemployment numbers come out, and as well as during the day and how it actually trades. It will be a very, very fascinating day. So taking a look at TVIX or volatility, we do see volatility falling almost 7% today, given that the Dow Jones went up over, I think, 100 points today, and we saw that hit to the resistance on SPY. So volatility is not something I'm actively trading, but you guys can see that we're pretty much at a near-term support around $50.22. So here it is. Here's the descending triangle pattern that we've been making. Pretty much follows SPY's ascending triangle pattern. But again, I'm holding off on any positions, so I just wanted to show you guys for your knowledge. Let's take a look at 4/CL tracking crude oil futures. Crude oil futures, we were looking for the reversal, but note we were looking for a reversal at $76.36. That's the 10-year resistance. Have we reached that yet? The answer is no. But have we gotten a reversal signal right now? So let's take a look at this. Okay, does that look like a reversal signal? Okay, let's take a look at the 1-year chart. Okay, so the answer should be no. That is not a reversal signal just yet. Note that we have a near-term support at 72.71, and we're pretty much smack dab right at the support. So, in my opinion, crude oil still has the potential to reach $76. It needs to come down to around the 20 EMA or this near-term support line, right? This ascending higher low that it's been making. And, at that point, we'll reevaluate whether when it breaks this low, if or when, and when it hits this support line. If or when that happens, then we'll take a look at what happens to crude oil. But right now, I just don't see a definitive sign, even though the futures are actually edging towards the negative sign. I don't see a definitive sign of reversal right now, and therefore, I'm not participating in the ticker that goes opposite to crude oil, DWT. We still, in my opinion, have to be a little more pro UWT, but it's getting risky going to crude oil, as you guys can see, right? It's kind of stuttering at the top. So, that's for you guys to evaluate. Once again, your risk if you wanted to go into Gush or UWT. 4/NG tracking natural gas. Now, natural gas is one I took a position on DGAZ or inverse natural gas. What does that mean? As 4/NG or natural gas futures push higher, DGAZ or when natural gas futures pushes lower, DGAZ would push higher because it's the inverse of natural gas. And I got into DGAZ. So here we are, right? We talked about how DGAZ or natural gas fell below the support at 2.892. That was a very critical support because we consolidated for so long, and because it didn't manage to push higher, it managed to push lower. So that's why I got into a DGAZ position earlier today. This is a pattern of active decline for natural gas. Note that we've pretty much is coming straight down right now. Here's the 180-day. You guys can see rejections at the light blue line or the 20 EMA once, twice, 3 times. you know, how many rejection confirmations do you really need? So that's why I'm in /NG and or inverse natural gas, and yeah, that's the pattern of active decline. So that's it. Natural gas. I want to take you guys to /GC tracking gold futures. Gold futures is actually looking much better. It actually take you to the 1-year chart, showing you guys a pretty nice reversal pattern at the support 1241.8. And you guys can see that this is a reversal pattern and that there is potential for gold to continue pushing higher. Note that this is the daily candle that formed, and we formed a positive candle. I believe futures only went up like 0.3 something points or percentage points today, but what did JNUG do? JNUG, that follows /GC. JNUG went up 3%. It took full advantage of a small bump in /GC. So JNUG and DGAZ are the tickers that I find potential in. So some of you guys are like, can you guys give me some tickers to look at, or the tickers of the month? And usually I do tickers of the month, but right now I've been eyeing JNUG and DGAZ for a while, and you guys can see that I've taken a position. By no means do I recommend taking any positions that I say. It's based off of your judgment, what you feel comfortable in, whether, because all stocks and ETFs have risks on them. It's what you're comfortable with that you take that position and invest your money, right? So this is JNUG right here. We do see that support right here at $13. You guys can see that it's been actively holding as a support in the past, and all of a sudden we're going back up. So JNUG still looks pretty good. I think there's a lot of potential for this one. Take a look at your tickers, but before we do, on the Facebook page, you guys commented and left a comment for me. Thank you so much, and messaged me about Tesla, and you're like, oh my gosh, Tesla's declining a lot. And intraday Tesla, you guys can see that it went to 296.22 before we made a reversal back up. So I want to show you guys the 1-year chart. Here's the reversal candle formed. Not too shabby, right? If we actually do Fibonacci on this, we can see that this probable area is around that area of reversal or potential reversal. So does that mean that Tesla has to go up? No. But however, we did form a nice reversal candle today, but we are still under the support area. So one thing I'm looking for tomorrow is for Tesla to close at the very least above 310. Hopefully above 315, but it needs to close above 310 in my opinion to kind of stay more bullish side. And that's just $1 away. So we'll see if Tesla is able to pull up toward that area tomorrow. Another very fascinating stock to watch, but I'm not actively participating in Tesla right now until I see that push higher above that resistance area. So far, we still close below, in my opinion, so this is one that I'm constantly watching. The reason why I like Tesla is on the 3-year chart, you guys can see this bull flag formation, but on the weekly candle, it looks pretty darn bad right now. So we need this to kind of push up at the very least, right? 315, 320, that mark tomorrow. We'll see how high Tesla can push tomorrow. If it drops, certainly that's a pretty bad sign for Tesla. All right, so let's take a look at a couple of your tickers. William, thanks, Kev. You're right about RRC. Thanks. Can you go over BIG for me, please? So let's take a look at BIG. So BIG, so this is a pattern of active decline. We're looking at the 3-year chart, and all of a sudden you guys see higher highs, higher lows, broke down, and now we're finally consolidating near here. So one can suggest, right? Oh my goodness, that this might be a low. So this is actually not that bad of a pattern. You guys can see that we've been consolidating quite a bit on the weekly. So I think if you wanted to get into a position, because it's been consolidating for so long and this might be the reversal area that we're looking for, you could take that position now, but you have to make sure that you set a stop loss, because you do not want to be in another decline should this continue to go down. I think this is a great ticker to be watching. This is Big Lots. Oh, okay. Big Lots. But, this is a great ticker to be watching. And I think if you're in this for the long term, you set a stop loss. But otherwise, you have to wait a couple weeks for this one to play out, since it's been consolidating for a while, and these are weekly candles. You can see that the fluctuations between the support and the resistance, really not that much, right? So yeah, good one to call out. Thank you so much. BM Digital, hope you had a happy 4th. Can you review Tesla? Yep, we just did so thank you for that submission. Addy Boy, I sold my MS today. When do you think it will bottom? So I'm going to take a look at MS. So MS is on a pattern of active decline. We set the support line. Remember the support line we talked about quite a ways back for your ticker, this MS ticker? This support line hasn't changed. And once we broke the support, what happens? And this is the beauty of technical analysis. It kept going down, and look how far it's going down. So the pattern is still actively declining. The support could be at 41.55. It could be around you know, there's, you know, around here, right? Around the 45 area or around $41. It doesn't really matter where the support is. It's around there, but what's more important is it's on actively declining. So get back to me within, you know, 2-3 weeks, and we'll reevaluate this kind of pattern. But for now, there's no pattern reversal. And so this is something that, you know, as it goes down, you know, hopefully you're not actively participating unless you're shorting the stock. But until we see some sort of consolidation at the bottom, not something we want to participate in right now. So even I don't really want to guess the bottom because it could be anywhere. Whoops, I just typed in Ven. Sorry, I typed in your name. Sorry. So here's your comment, Ven. Don't feel comfortable with Facebook, and I don't really have a Facebook account. Any good suggestions to stay contacted? So I think what you're doing is fantastic. If you're commenting on the YouTube comments page, thank you so much. And I'm reading these constantly, right? So just keep posting down here. I think that's completely fine. In the meantime, I might be exploring other options such as Twitter, but right now, since we just got a Facebook page launched, let's keep that one in mind. And if you don't use it, perfectly fine, right? I'm on YouTube. So, all right. So Rizwan, I took a position. Oh, Rizwan, I took a position on DWT. So we talked about DWT and UWT, right? So hopefully that helped. Jay Wu, SMSI. Can I check that out? Sure thing. So SMSI, one thing to note is you guys can see a resistance at $3.02. Let's just call that $3 and look at what's happening. In the past, this is the resistance. You guys can see resistance, act as resistance right here, and then we came down. We came down, found support at the 50 SMA, and now we're going back up. So I want to ask you, what's your risk level, right? In the course, you'll be evaluating how much risk are you going to partake, because a lot of the trading is all about controlling your risk. And look at this, right? Look at the number of candles above where you buy if you bought it today, and the number of candles below. The majority is below. You're nearing extreme risk, so this is one that you have to evaluate whether you want to participate in. But we're getting very close to the resistance, and we went up 12% today. That is you know, that's a risk that you will have to evaluate. All right, so hopefully that helps. Hey, Kevin, any suggestions about CRON? So CRON is one that you've been calling out quite a bit, I remember, in the past too. So CRON has this wedge formation, lower highs plus higher lows. Certainly don't want to be participating in this one either, right? This one's getting wedged in. At some point, we do expect a major push up or down, but we certainly don't want to be guessing. And because I don't want to be guessing in this pattern, and because it's, you guys can see this being wedged in, the potential for profit is getting less and less. And yeah, so this is not something I want to be actively investing in right now, but you guys can see this pattern clearly. So again, I don't want to like guess. I want to use technical analysis or evidence to base my positions. So all right, Travis, I missed the OP to get your input on the things I'm trading, but I love your input on HRTX. I'm sure we see the same pattern. I love the extra input. So HRTX, you guys can see where's the best time to buy, right? Okay, so first of all, notice that on the 1 year chart, you see a gap up area. Where's the gap up area? Okay, and where's the past gap up area? All right, so here's the first gap up area, second gap up area. What happened in the first gap up area? Consolidation to the 20 EMA before it went up again. Okay, so at the very least, here's the 20 EMA or the light blue line. It needs to consolidate to the right. It needs to come down to the 20 EMA and before I look into taking a position. But right now, you know, if it goes up, great. I'll be happy to miss out on that action, but it needs to consolidate to the right before, you know, even the possibility of, you know, I think for me to enter this position. Where's the greatest time to buy? Look, the 50 SMA, the blue line has been actively acting as a support here, here, and, you know, that could be down there. So again, evaluate your risk level. Do you want to get in at the 20 EMA or do you want to get at the 50 SMA? Either way, you set your stop loss, and, you know, maybe at the 50 SMA, you'll be a little more comfortable, you know, with your stop loss, but, you know, at the 20 EMA, maybe a tighter stop loss. But yeah, so I wouldn't get in right now, in my opinion. So, okay. So again, an AMD. All right, Donald, just for you. This one's just for you, AMD. So AMD's trajectory in my analysis has really not changed for the past every time I've analyzed AMD. And AMD, the reason why is on the 3-year chart, I'm looking for a come down to the 20 EMA line like in the past, and then that's where I would take my position. Note that the 20 EMA or the light blue line is between $13 to $14 still. Okay, so it can do two things. One, it can consolidate sideways to the 20 EMA. I'd be perfectly comfortable coming back in at 1550 if it consolidates sideways to 1550, right? Otherwise, it could come down to $13 to $14, in which is my price point to get in. Right now, it's still actively trading up. You know, I'm not going to be going into this one right now because, you know, we don't know what's going to happen, right? It could trade up, it could trade sideways, it could trade down to the 20 EMA. It's just a little too overextended in my opinion, and it has room to come down just a tad bit more for AMD. that's it for today's analysis. I hope you guys didn't mind the fast talking, but thank you for checking out the Stock Talk video in a late night edition. I hope you guys like these late night edition Stock Talks because it's a lot of fun for me to do as well. So a lot of interesting things will happen tomorrow. I'm paying very close attention to the markets. In the meantime, I hope you have a great Thursday, have a great Friday and the weekend, because I will see you guys in the next Stock Talk, which occurs on Sunday. In the meantime, happy trading tomorrow, and I'll see you guys later.